Shoots and ladders. Survivor Series greatest debuts. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi, I'm Desiree Joseph.
All right. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. These are the OG of the pay-per-views for WWE. Specifically with Survivor Series, there were a lot of historic debuts. We're going to do a countdown. We're going to change the format up a little bit. We're actually going to do honorable mentions first and then run into the actual countdown. This was a lot of fun. It was actually very difficult. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
I was so excited just because Survivor Series is one of the originals, and I love that. I love Survivor Series. I think it's so much fun with all of them in the ring just going at it. And plus, Shawn Michaels was in a lot of them with the big Montreal screw job and everything else. So I'm a big fan of this.
Sounds good. All right. And let's start it off. Ladies are always first. Give me your honorable mentions.
I have one, and it's not even a person. You'll probably know what it is, and it's just because it showed up on so many articles, and I was like, actually, this is a debut, and that is the Elimination Chamber.
I was very tempted to put this as the honorable mention, to be honest.
I didn't think about it, and then I was like, really, it wasn't a part of the original. It didn't get debuted until 2002 by Bischoff. And who won the first Elimination Chamber? Not only, it's Shawn Michaels. So I love it, and I love this event, and it's a no-brainer because it's just timeless and so much fun to put a whole bunch of grown men in a steel cage.
Sounds good. I'm going to give a blast from the past, a guy that should have been pushed a lot more. Sadly, he got injured, and then there were a lot of behind the scenes events, but Ahmed Johnson. Survivor Series debut 1995. Listen, 1996 was the year of Ahmed Johnson. He won the IC strap. I honestly thought he was going to get a world title push. In fact, he did. He won a battle royal, and he was in line for a title shot. Farouk actually kicked him, or Ron Simmons, our boy, kicked him. He got injured. He didn't have another angle until it was with Farouk in the Royal Rumble. Nothing actually ever materialized after that. It kind of just went down. It was a downward spiral, and next thing you know, he ended up getting released. So you can be hot one moment and then not the next, and that applies in wrestling too. But yeah, I wanted to. I had a feeling that was going to surprise you. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, he's a big man, and he was actually at the wrestling convention that I saw last year, and he is still huge, and he still brings a little bit of a crowd, so he still has a pretty strong fan base.
All right, awesome. All right, good stuff. Well, let's hear it. Who do you have at number 5?
It's Sting.
Okay.
I know it's not necessarily a debut, but that really was his official debut to the WWE, just because he is, the icon for WCW. But it's just fun to see him show up, and you can hear the caw of his music, and Triple H is sitting there just waiting. And it's when who was it? Did he throw Dolph over Seth and have him win? But yeah, he's just amazing. Like I said, he's the icon, and I wish we had more of him with WWE, but
sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna laugh. Like always, we don't share each other's list. Number 5, I have Sting. So same exact logic. So if it was a match, I actually would have ranked him higher, but because it was just sort of a small segment, but he's an icon. He's an icon. And years and years and years, if you were a WCW or WWE guy or WWF at the time, you always thought about what if the two companies would merge and we saw Sting wrestle some of the top guys, and he fulfilled a lot of people's dreams that night.
It was magical.
All right, number 4, who do you got?
Who do I have? Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Do you have the same one?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
okay. And you know why? You know what I did notice is that he uses the same gear, the same music, and everything. So he just stayed so consistent with his character. And then he wrestled, what was it, Sean Stasiak, and then won. Yeah, I just look at how impactful he is and was, and he's still going strong. And I mean, why not?
Sure.
He's amazing.
So I wrestled a little bit in high school, and I don't want to call these guys amateur wrestlers, but Kurt Angle actually paved the way for collegiate Olympic wrestlers.
Mhm.
Kurt Angle was actually heavily courted by WWE. He finally jumped on board and was considered one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time, which makes a lot of sense. He won a gold medal. He actually was courted by ECW as well. To be honest with you, that match in particular that he had against Sean Stasiak was kind of boring, but but that's not what this is. This list is just greatest debuts. Obviously, Kurt Angle is one of the greatest of all time. So, yeah, he's number 4, but I probably would have ranked him higher if it was more impactful on Survivor Series.
Absolutely.
All right, number 3. I have a feeling we're going to have the exact same one, but go for it.
3 for 3. I'm going with the Shield.
Yeah, and part of the reason why I did it is because there's 3 of them.
Yes, and that was the running joke in my head. I was like, okay, we'll just put them at 3. That'll be nice. I think it's fun. They jumped ship from NXT, made the surprise, and jumped on CM Punk, Cena, and Ryback. And I guess you can say they 3 had a succcevel career with
I'd say
WWE. So. I think they're doing okay. But yeah, that's what I'm saying is, even though Dean Ambrose isn't with them anymore and Jon Moxley now, he's still a powerhouse and their champion. So all 3 of them are so successful, and I really can't say much. Look at him now.
Yeah. Well, and all 3 of them became world champion.
Yeah.
Not just world champions, they were main eventers for a long, long time. That's the only thing I would have to add. The only thing I would say is what's interesting about this is at one point in time, I think there were a lot of behind the scenes notes of, hey, we may scrap Survivor Series because it's become an outdated concept. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that wasn't the case. I'm so glad that they actually stuck to their guns and said, hey, let's keep tradition rolling on. But it is kind of funny that they choose this event for debuts because it's almost towards the end of the year. You would think, if anything, maybe the Royal Rumble, but
yeah.
But hey, for whatever reason, it is Survivor Series. I'm glad it is because it allows us to have the show.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, number 2. I have a feeling the next 2 we're going to match. This will be funny.
Okay. I went back and forth all weekend with my list, and I was like, maybe I'll do a 1A and a 1B.
Okay.
But I said no. I'm going to look at complete impact. So I'm going to go with The Rock.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay.
And then I think we already know who number 1 is.
We already know who number 1 is, and this is overall career, and it's just because of longevity.
Exactly.
And Rocky comes from a huge family, a long lineage of wrestlers. So he premiered in 96 as Rocky Maivia in the blue attire, and look at him. He's a superstar, and he's still back as the final boss, and he's truly electrifying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%. That was my main logic point was he obviously went on to acting. Hats off. God bless him. One of the greatest I think he's grossed the most money ever for in action films.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously it was the right choice. Save your body. I say this to anyone that's doing any type of laborious job. Don't do it forever. Do it while you can, then kind of go out. But hats off to him. That's the only reason why I'm at number 2. Otherwise, because I will continue to say this. He's the greatest on the mic of all time. So.
Right. Yep.
All right. So number 1, I don't think this is too much of a surprise. And for the first time, it looks like in Shoots and Ladders history, both of us will have the exact same 5. So who you got?
The Undertaker.
Yeah, too easy. Too easy.
I think he's synonymous with it. Like I think one of the best debuts, he really scared a lot of kids. You could see this shots in the crowd with who is this dead man. He was Ted DiBiase's surprise partner in 1990, and he was escorted by Brother Love and, ended with a tombstone. So
sure.
He's a historical figure.
Fun fact about that, I'm sure you probably saw it in his podcast or documentary and stuff. There was a magical egg that night. Do you remember that?
that Thanksgiving thing, the gobbler.
Yeah, correct. And Undertaker, Mark Galloway, he basically said, "Look, just please don't let me come out of an egg."
Yeah.
And like, thank God he did it. But it's funny. You said you actually hit on a key point of, hey, when you think about debuts in Survivor Series, think about the Undertaker. Same exact sentiment I have. I remember him as Mean Mark in WCW, and to be honest, yeah, he was kind of cool. I mean, for being a big man, he was super athletic. He had the old school move where he would climb the top rope and do that hit. That's really impressive.
Hold them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's super impressive. But when he came to WWE, he took off. Another thing about that is when everyone was jumping ship to WCW in the mid 90s, Undertaker stayed loyal. And I think that's to this day part of the reason why the streak lasted so long, because they wanted to give him his respects. So, yeah.
And it's 100% earned, and I think it's across the board that no wrestling fan will fight us on that he is one of the greatest, if not the greatest character of all time, just because of the consistency, the growth and development. And it's been 30 years, and everyone knows who he is, and he is a company man and loyal. So hats off to him. We love him.
Absolutely. All right, that actually wraps this up. Wow, this went a lot faster than I thought. We both had a lot to say. This was so much fun to put together. Give us your list. Please DM us at the Chutes and Ladders. Again, like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
Have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Bye, friends.